Okay, let's talk about something we've all been through. Your automation script is humming along, everything is perfect, and then it just stops. Dead. No error, no timeout, just a frozen browser. Well, today, we're going to zero in on one of the biggest troublemakers behind that freeze, the JavaScript alert, and I'm going to show you exactly how to tame it in Selenium.
Right? You hit run, the browser pops open, it starts navigating, clicking things, it's all going great. And then, nothing. Silence. The script just hangs there. So what on earth could bring a perfectly good Selenium script to a screeching halt?
Ah, and there it is, the classic villain of our story. This exception, right here, this is the smoking gun. An unexpected alert has popped up, and Selenium is basically throwing its hands up and saying, hey, I literally can't do anything else until you deal with this.
So what's really going on behind the scenes? Why is this tiny little pop-up such a massive roadblock for a tool as powerful as Selenium?
Here's the key thing to understand. A JavaScript alert completely hijacks the browser's focus. And since Selenium is just pretending to be a user, its focus gets hijacked too. Your driver is, for all intents and purposes, frozen solid. You can't click anything else. You can't type. You can't navigate away. Nothing works until that alert is handled.
So, how do we wrestle back control? Well, thankfully, the folks who made Selenium saw this coming. They built a specific way to handle this. The trick isn't to ignore the alert or fight it, but to switch your focus directly to it.
This one line of code is your magic wand. It's you telling Selenium, hey, forget about the main web page for a second. See that pop-up? That's what we're dealing with now. As soon as you run this command, you're back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so we've got Selenium's attention focused on the alert. Now what can we actually do? Well, this is where your toolkit comes in. Selenium gives us 4 specific methods. Think of them as your superpowers for dealing with any alert you come across.
And this toolkit is beautifully simple. You've got 2 ways to close an alert: accept for the OK button and dismiss for cancel. You've got 1 way to read its message, get text, and you've got 1 way to type into it, send keys. That's it. These 4 methods have you covered for pretty much any situation.
All right, enough theory. Let's see what this looks like in some real code. We're going to look at how to use these tools and maybe more importantly, how to avoid a really common pitfall that trips a lot of people up.
Okay, listen up, because this next part is super important. When you're handling an alert, the order in which you call these methods is absolutely everything. It's the difference between your script working perfectly and you staring at another frustrating error message.
So imagine you want to verify the text of an alert before you click OK. If you write your code to click accept first and then you try to get the text, well, your script is going to crash. And why is that? Because as soon as you accept the alert, poof, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. You're basically asking Selenium to read text from thin air.
The fix, thankfully, is incredibly simple. Just flip the order. You have to do everything you need to do, like getting the text, while the alert is still visible on the screen. So you grab the text first, do your validation, and then you accept or dismiss it. Get what you need, then get rid of it. Simple as that.
Okay, so clicking OK or cancel is one thing, but what about those other alerts? You know, the prompts that ask for your name or some other piece of information. That's where our 4th superpower comes into play.
And yep, it is just as easy as it looks. Once you've switched your focus to that alert, you just use the send keys method, and you can type whatever you want right into that prompt's input box.
And voila! There's the proof. After our script sends the text and accepts the alert, the page itself updates to show our input. That's how we know it worked. We successfully talked to the prompt, gave it what it needed, and the test moved on. Perfect. Now, before we wrap up, let me give you a quick pro tip that's going to make your code way cleaner and just easier to work with. If you find yourself doing more than one thing to an alert, like typing and then clicking OK, there's a much better way to write that code. Just look at the difference here. The before version works totally, but notice how we're calling driver.switchTo.alert twice? It's repetitive. Now look at the after approach. So much cleaner. We just switch to the alert once, store it in a nice variable, and then we can call all the methods we want on that variable. It reads better, and it's way less likely to cause a typo.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground.
We've seen the problem, we've walked through the solution, and we've even picked up some best practices. Let's just do a quick lightning round to lock in the key takeaways.
So number 1, alerts are showstoppers. You can't ignore them, you have to handle them. Number 2, your first move always is to switch focus with driver.switch2.alert. Then you use your 4 superpowers: accept, dismiss, get text, and send keys. And remember the golden rule: order matters. Get the text before you close the alert. And finally, to write code like a pro, store that alert in a variable.
And there you have it. You've just mastered one of the most common and, frankly, most annoying roadblocks in web automation. Now that you know how to switch your focus and use this toolkit, you're ready to take on way more complex websites. The only question left is, what challenge are you going to conquer next?